Hi everyone, this is James.
And Jess.
And today we are taking a look at the in-house Blizzard Figures Warcraft 3 Thrall.
Yes, we should know we have moved out of Warcraft 2 now. The first two was just the Orc Grunt and the Human Footman. Now we have named characters for Warcraft 3.
Yes, and this is Thrall from Warcraft 3. This isn't Goel. This isn't the Thrall who decided to ditch the armor and marry Agra and all that. No, this is the good old days. These are the glory days. These are the days when, he would tell you to go kill the enemies of the horde, and he wouldn't give you a huge lesson about it. He might talk to you a little bit about the elements, but other than that, no marriage drama, no baby drama, no, oh, the elements don't love me drama.
Do my prayer beads look good with this outfit?
They did, but still, that wasn't really appropriate for the time and the place.
I agree.
So, we've got Thrall. Let's take a look at his articulation. Much like the earlier figures, it is very limited. You can move his head side to side very slightly. His braids kind of get in the way of that, so you can kind of just cock his head a little bit, and that's about it. Arms swivel at the elbow, up and down at the shoulder. Legs back and forth, and that is it. And then he's also got a waist swivel. It doesn't go as much as some of the earlier figures we took a look at. That is it for the articulation. It's adequate. It's a little less than adequate, actually. He's in a decent enough pose. It's again similar to those other kind of battle poses we've seen. And he doesn't look too awkward. He stands fairly well. He does tend to fall over a little bit, but not too much.
I would say he stands better than the Human Footman. He stands worse than the Orc Grunt.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
And a lot of it does have to do with that pose, getting his feet flat, as you can even see there. Just looking at that, we've got one foot that's a little bit raised, and it is not easy to get those feet flat and get that stance solid.
Yeah, I'll try and move him so if you can kind of see. You actually have to have him leaning back a little bit on his heels, almost like he's about to start doing, limbo. Which they do in Orgrimmar.
No, I think he's doing a cock thrust.
They do that in Orgrimmar as well. That's when you hit level 60. The limbo is when you hit level 20 and get your mount.
Oh.
Well, back in Warcraft 3 and then early World of Warcraft, it would have been level 40. Regardless, it does fit within the lore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty much established. So, articulation, we're going to give him a 2. It's very limited. It's not great. But paint and sculpt, on the other hand, is very, very good. The first thing you'll notice is his head is freaking awesome. Look at his face. He's doing the Rock. He's raised one of his eyebrows. That's just great. And then otherwise, he's kind of got a stern but almost wise face. It fits Thrall. The one thing they make him look a little older. And at this point, he's actually still a fairly young orc. He's only about in his late 20s to 30s, I believe, at this point in his shamanistic career.
I'd like to point out, too, that though his braid is kind of in a mohawk style, he does have more hair than the Orc Grunt by a little bit. He's got that one piece that comes from the forehead and connects to the back.
It's receding somewhat on the sides there, but it's still there. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and he's doing a lot better than most orcs.
Absolutely.
So his face is very cool. Like I said, he's got more of a puzzled or kind of rock-ish face.
Very expressive.
Very expressive. And you do see, just like in this games, even when his face is resting and it's not, baring his teeth or anything like that, he got the little tusks just sticking out. Very cool. He's also got a signature little goatee there. You'll notice he has his iconic black and gold armor that was worn by his, mentor, Orgrim Doomhammer. And it is very cool. It's got rivets and plates and, just the gold detailing. And then it's got this very cool washed out black. It makes it look like this armor has seen a lot of battles.
It's kind of like oiled leather that's seen some use.
It really fits him as a shaman. Shaman don't wear the heaviest armor, but they do have some protection. They wear mail in the game, and this looks like it's kind of a hybrid plate mail, almost leather. It really fits. It'd be really cool if someday we could get this in World of Warcraft. They are, putting in the artifact weapons. Maybe they'll do artifact armor at some point.
That'd be awesome.
But knowing our luck, it'd probably be the trench coat, prayer beads, Akuma thing he had going on there.
What about the sculpt on the Doom Hammer, though? Gorgeous.
Doom Hammer. So this is what made me want the figure in the first place. I just got to show you this. This is probably the coolest accessory for any...
He holds it really well, as you can see.
Yeah, it does not come out easy.
Much better than the Orc Grunt holds.
But this is just so cool. It looks exactly like it does in the game. It's got the Frostwolf emblem in the middle there. It's got the big rivets kind of holding the whole thing together. He's got the wrapped, dirty leather on the bottom of it with the wood, almost oak-like handle. It's got the pommel at the top, and then the hammer itself, it's got these gnarly looking...
It's got some wear to it.
Yeah, it does. It looks like this hammer's been used before. It is just so cool. And that's what really drew me to the figure in the first place, because I just really wanted the Doom Hammer. So
You can use it with any toy. It's one of those accessories. And you often find him on eBay without the Doom Hammer, because I suspect people did just that. They wanted every toy they had to hold one.
Well, I take it with me
Absolutely.
for strength and courage. Whenever I just go out of the house, really.
That's true.
It
helps on shopping trips, I must say.
I don't like leaving the house without the Doom Hammer. I'm just going to come out and say it.
I think that's fair. And that kind of brings us to accessories. The Doom Hammer is Thrall's only accessory. But it's a hell of an accessory. It's very nicely sculpted. It's very nicely painted. I think you're going to have to give him a better score, James, just because of how awesome the Doom Hammer is.
Well, for paint and sculpt, because we did skip over that with the score, I would say his paint and sculpt is easily a 4.5.
Absolutely.
And the Doom Hammer, I am biased. He only does come with the one accessory, and I could imagine, since he is a shaman, and in Warcraft 3 he would throw lightning bolts and call elementals, that he could have potentially come in with another accessory besides the Doom Hammer. So I'm going to give him accessories as a 4, not because the Doom Hammer is bad, it isn't, but he only does come with the one thing.
That's true. Now, this line doesn't have any of effect pieces, though, is something to consider. I mean, there are weapons and there are helmets and shields, but there's no elemental effects or lightning pieces or anything that came with this line. I don't think that was popular at the time that these figures were produced in the early 2000s.
That's true, but when you look at him like compared to Muradin, who we'll also do a review on, who came with like 4 accessories, and they were just as detailed as the Doom Hammer, I think it's something to consider.
That's fair.
So we'll give him a 4 for accessories, with the caveat that it's not because the Doom Hammer's bad, it's just he could have probably come with a little more. Play value, he's a great toy. I mean, he really is. Yeah, he's obviously made for collectors, but he's very sturdy. He's very easy to just kind of pick up. The one great thing about his stance is he's not hard to pick up. He is a little hard to stand, as we mentioned, but he's so solid. He can really take some damage. The hammer, the Doom Hammer, is just a fantastic accessory. You could have a lot of fun with him, just knocking over other toys or blocks or whatever, or little siblings too.
His stance looks dynamic. That's the nice thing about it is, he looks like he's ready to do something. It really goes in with the sculpt of his face. I think if you were playing with him, also, because he holds the Doom Hammer so very well, it's not going to fly out. It does make it a little bit easier if you were playing with him with another toy, particularly in comparison to the Orc Grunt, whose hammer kind of loosely shakes up and down, as we saw in the previous video.
Right. So play value, definitely a 4.5. Even if the kids don't necessarily know who Thrall is, I think they'll see this and think, wow, this is a really cool green monster guy with an awesome hammer and very cool armor. He'd easily be a good guy or a bad guy. Which is what I like compared to the Orc Grunt. That guy clearly looks like a bad guy as he's screaming and has like blood and sludge coming out of his mouth.
He does. So I have a question for you, James.
Sure.
Those blue and gold things that are coming down, are those part of his beard or are those part of his hair?
Those are part of his hair, actually. You see his goatee is actually fairly short and cropped close to his face. if we can zoom in just a little bit here on his head, you see he ties his hair into 3 distinct ponytails. The center one goes down his back, and then the 2 others go down his face, almost as if they were kind of like sideburns or mutton chops, only they're behind his ears.
Yeah. See, I thought it might be really long sideburns, but I see what you mean now.
No, that was a style that was popular among orcs about 200 to 300 years before he was born. So I think this is more him doing a little bit of a more modern retro kind of throwback to that.
Retro classic.
Well, Thrall is a kind of he's a little bit of a cutting edge, avant-garde orc with the whole maybe we shouldn't kill all the humans kind of point of view.
Absolutely. Well, we will be right back with overall scores for you guys. All right, and we're back.
So for the overall score for this Thrall figure, we decided a 4 was appropriate.
All things considered?
Yeah, he has definitely more strengths than weaknesses.
Absolutely.
But what we thought of a 4 was in consideration of his articulation, which is not great, and the fact that, he's locked into his pose pretty much, and he's also a secondary market figure at this point, which means you are going to be paying a premium price. He
is a little bit more expensive than some of the other figures. I think it has a lot to do with folks' nostalgia for classic Thrall. He's worth it, though. If you can find him out of package, if you open your figures like we do, he's going to be a significantly better price. I think I paid about $50 or $60 for him in 2010.
It was a while ago we got him.
It was a while ago that we got him. I think I got him around the time of an expansion and Cataclysm. So he was a little bit more pricey then, and I've seen him a little cheaper and I've seen him a lot more expensive. So, these things can really vary once they're out of stores, and I would actually consider, these are vintage toys at this point.
Yeah.
Not being produced anymore. I don't even think the company, the Blizzard, they're not even making their own toys, or well, they make their own plushes. I'm not sure how much they license at this point.
They license a lot, and I don't know if their plushes are in-house or not. But going back to Thrall, I think he's definitely, if you can afford him, get him. I wouldn't skip over him. Thrall is just so iconic and is so important to Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft, and he's still playing a major role for Shamans this coming expansion, as they'll actually take the Doomhammer and because apparently Thrall has made the elements upset, and now they're taking the Doomhammer. It doesn't matter. The thing is this is Thrall at his best.
Look at that face.
It's a great figure. The Doomhammer accessory is just fantastic. So if you like Warcraft, if you like fun figures, pick them up. Just see if you can get a better deal on eBay, shop around a little bit, and absolutely do not buy him without the Doomhammer. The Doomhammer is so worth it.
All right, let's do a 360 and then sign off.
All right, this is it. Storm, Earth, and Fire, Thrall. Storm, Earth, and Fire.
He looks great. His ponytail's flying in the wind.
The wind that he's controlling.
That's right. He's kind of cheating when you think about it like that.
No, because the elements don't listen to just anybody, but they listen to Thrall.
Fair enough. We'll see you next time.